I can use this chair right here.
Yeah.
Does it go up?
No.
Okay.
But it's upholstered and it looks pretty.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Balance Podcast, where we help entrepreneurs like yourself learn, grow, and build your legacy. Today, we're here with Corbin Boland, and today's episode is all about Florida Boy Customs. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing good, man. Thanks for coming on and being part of the podcast.
Absolutely, man.
So I want to sit here with you and discuss a little bit about what you do, how you got started, and where you're at now. Let's start with how you got started.
Well, I mean, technically, I got started, I guess, when I was 16, right? So you start working on cars. That's how you get started. You buy a car, and then your car breaks, and you got to fix it. So technically, that's how I got started. And then I went to tech school in Orlando. I went to UTI, and I did that and went through the core program. I did Ford FACT program. I got all my certifications through Ford, everything except for auto trans and manual trans. Came back, worked at a Ford dealership for a while, 3 months or whatever, and was a tech and everything like that. And then got a little lost for a little bit and was planning on actually moving to Montana and then go be a ranch hand. Live with my uncle. Yeah, I was gonna go be a ranch hand and I just didn't want to do anything. So I was let me just go hang out with horses. I grew up with horses and everything.
Be a cowboy, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was gonna do. And then I had a date with a girl who now is my wife, and that kind of kept me around. And then I was, I was coaching like lacrosse, blew out my ACL. Was an electrician, and then was going back to school. Went back to school to be for business and get my business AA and everything like that. And then I needed money, and she was working, so all of her coworkers were telling her how I was a bum. So I was like, I need to get a job, I guess. So I found a job as an upholsterer at an upholstery shop, and I worked in an upholstery shop for a year. I did everything there except for sew. I never sewed anything, but I did everything else. And then I felt like I was, wasting my education that I paid for. So I went back to being a tech. Also, it wasn't a very good shop there. So I went back to being a tech or whatever, and then was doing, some door panels, some headliners in my garage. I did some leather kits in my garage. Started just doing stuff in my garage and then doing stuff at the dealership. Got my LLC because was doing headliners for them, and they needed me to have that so that they could pay me. And then did that for about a year. I'd do a lot of headliners for them, scrub the headliner at night. Like I'd get off, clock out, pull the headliner, scrub it out, and then I'd go in early the next morning, like 6 before everyone come in there, lay it, put it in, and be ready to go to work at 8.
Yeah.
Just be there. So I did that for a year, and then I got a raise, just had our second child, and super unhappy. We just decided that my wife wasn't going to work anymore. She was going to be a stay-at-home mom, and heard God tell me that I should start an upholstery shop, and I said, sounds good, we'll do that. And I bought a furniture machine. Actually, wasn't anything like the machine I have now. Bought an industrial furniture machine, found a shop here in High Springs, started an upholstery shop. Never sewed in my life, started an upholstery shop.
Okay.
I did a lot of stuff at the beginning. The beginning was fun. It was a 1,200 square foot built like a warehouse. It was the old tobacco barns. Every old guy that would come in, this was old tobacco barns, right? I'm like, yes, I know. You're like the 40th person to tell me that. Yes, sir. My wife was doing furniture. She would do antique furniture, and she would paint furniture, and we'd do markets and stuff like that. And then I'd make build all the furniture and stuff like that for her. Like when we first started, it was basically a storage unit with I was doing upholstery out of a storage unit. Like
and it wasn't vehicles; it was any type of upholstery.
Anything that I could go out and hustle up some work on, man, I would go everywhere and anywhere. I was doing dental armrests, and I'd go to people's houses and pull an armrest off just to do a center console for $150 or whatever. Like, I would do anything.
Okay.
I was doing all of it. A lot of furniture, a lot of upholstery, and slowly worked my way here, and now
a lot of leather, cloth, a little bit of everything.
Not a lot of cloth. Cloth is actually more expensive than it is to get vinyl. It's almost as expensive as it is to get leather, so I don't do a lot of cloth or dabble in a lot of cloth. But I've done some furniture. I've done a few furniture. I've done some cloth. Like what we did? We did some outdoor furniture.
Okay.
Outdoor patio furniture. And the lady I was like, this is expensive for, you can just buy cushions. Like, yeah, but this is sentimental to me or whatever. I did two French chairs, those old style French chairs. I like to wrap around and stuff like that for my wife. I'll never do any of those for any other person other than my wife.
Is it a pain in the butt?
See, they're such a pain in the butt. There's so many staples in them. Like, they're super simple, but they're just super also tedious. The amount of staples that are in it and everything like that, it's just a ton of it. But that was an interesting one because I had to make my own custom double welt from linen. So it was a cool one to learn.
Okay.
It came out amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then you still have those pieces? Or?
No, we sold them.
You sold them?
Yeah, sold them.
Yeah. And probably will never make another one, huh?
No. She has a bunch of chairs that she keeps around in hopes that I'll make them one day, but I'll make them eventually.
I got to work late. I got to get this car done.
That happens a lot. I've slept here many of times.
Oh, yeah. I've fallen asleep in front of the computer. Woken up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Luckily, with doing upholstery and stuff, right, I got a lot of foam blocks. So a 2-inch foam slab is quite the mattress.
Yeah, it was kind of like the parachutes back in the day.
Yeah,
I'd be packing parachutes all day, be on mission, and be like, just let me get 5 minutes.
I bet a few parachutes together could make it good.
Hey, it's pretty comfy.
That's a good little cot.
So now you're here. Florida Boy Customs, you got the shop open. What do you do now? You do mostly custom work on vehicles,
Now
right?
Mostly we do custom work. We do leather kits, so we'll do your leather upgrade. We work with Catskin, so we're a Catskin retailer. So people purchase through Catskin because they do the financing or whatever, and then they just get their install with us.
Okay.
And then we also retail with Aaliyah Leather. So we used to do repairs. We don't do a lot of repairs anymore. Going away from that, it's just not cost efficient for the amount of people I don't have.
Okay.
So, like when I got one apprentice, repair stuff is great. He can learn upholstery, but ultimately I don't want him to learn how to repair a seat. I want him to
make a seat.
Yeah, I want him to make a seat. I don't want him to repair a seat.
Now, speaking of seats, not to mean to cut you off, but the stitching on the seat.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You do that stitching, that diamond stitching?
Yeah, I've hand stitched hexagons, a bunch of hexagons before. That one takes a long, long time.
Okay.
Diamonds.
Pretty simple.
Diamonds, regular diamonds are super simple. Double diamonds, super simple. It's just very tedious with all the lines. Hexagons are definitely a lot more.
It looks beautiful.
Intricate and stuff like that. I don't do it as much anymore because now with the CNC machines, it's just so much more time efficient.
Yep.
And I've always been against that, which is funny because if you would ask me like probably 5 years ago, I would have been like, no way, I'm never going to use the CNC. It takes away from the craft. Like you should be able to sew it up yourself. And then I've sewed them all up myself and It does not take away from the craft. It just helps make the craft a little bit faster. And you don't have to, come on, you don't have to pay me.
Yeah, no, I get it.
12 hours that it takes me to sew up some hexagons when I can just
Put it in the CNC machine.
Go get a CNC done, and I can get 5 panels made in
the same amount of
time. And you can have hexagons forever.
Sure.
So.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
man. So how many CNC machines do you have?
I have none.
Oh, okay.
But I have people that have them.
Gotcha.
I'd rather just know the people that have them instead.
Do it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about, here's a question, doing the customization on the leather and stuff like that. You ever engraved any leather?
I've not done. My buddy has a laser engraver. That's pretty cool. I would like to get a laser. We've done I don't have lasers, so I've never done.
I've got a small desktop laser, and I had a client bring me some cowboy boots.
Yeah.
With the little tabs on the side.
Yeah.
And she wanted me to engrave the initials and a little cow head on it.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. She did it for a Christmas present for her fiance and father.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll like take the headrest part and maybe engrave like their name or like whatever their logo is or something instead of embroidery is really nice too, but I think leather engraving would be more like a rustic King Ranch type vibe.
Oh yeah, I love lasers. There's a guy, Chris McCormick in Bucks Customs up in Pennsylvania, and he's always using his laser. Lasers are super handy just in general.
In general, on anything.
You can also do like the perf into it and everything like that, and all the like lasers in interiors are super
CNC cool. Laser machines, all that stuff's super helpful.
Oh yeah.
Because my uncle has a CNC machine, and he does woodwork with it and stuff. Yeah. So it's pretty awesome what you're able to accomplish.
And just how much faster you're able to accomplish it. My buddy has down the road. He's got a CNC machine, and you know, I use CAD, my cardboard aided design, and then I give him my cardboard, and then he just makes it out and cuts it out for me.
Okay.
So he uses real CAD.
The old school hand drawn.
Dude, I make everything out of cardboard. Anything you've ever seen, have you ever seen anything that I've ever made? It was made out of cardboard first.
A cardboard template.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I save every single one of them.
That's awesome, man.
A stack of them.
You got them?
Oh,
you should like initial them and keep them. Frame them.
Hey, if we never know if I want to build it again.
That's right. So, do you get a lot of the same type of vehicles, or do you get like just random?
Not really. Being in High Springs and what I've tried to push myself into is all lifted trucks. So, I mean, just this area alone is pretty much, it's a rural community.
Yeah.
You know,
everyone's got a lifted truck.
Has American Forces on. Like, it's just.
That's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is around here, right? Yeah. So, like, and which is funny. I guess I don't want to say I didn't plan it, because I kind of did plan it and make it that way. I did, you know, what is it, where you speak into existence or whatever. Because I always said, like, I only want to work on trucks. I hate working on cars.
Why do you hate working on cars over
I'm
trucks?
6 foot tall, and I got big long arms and.
Just easier.
Cars.
Better on the back.
Yeah, dude. Have you ever done, you're a little shorter than me, but listen, doing a top on a Miata at my size, and I'm not even a tall or big guy, but I'm good on that.
Yeah.
They're too small.
There's a lot of bending over. Well, packing parachutes and stuff too, there's a lot of bending over. That's what I used to do. So.
Like if I was a tech working on cars, it's not that bad. You can put it on a lift and you can bring it up 4 foot and you're, you know, at good level to it, but if it's actually on the ground, like I don't
just
like,
trucks, huh?
Dude, it's not fun. Yeah, I like trucks. They're a good height. The good space. There's
don't have to go home and sit on the inversion table for 3 hours after.
Yeah, exactly. And it just happens that it's always lifted trucks too. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I pushed myself into it a long while ago. So and it's just kind of been pushed ever since.
Awesome, man.
So
tell me some scary things in the beginning, some things that made you nervous, had you scared.
I don't know if I've ever really been. I mean, I've been through a lot of crap. I can tell you that.
Yeah, with the business.
Yeah, I mean, it If anybody ever tells you that owning a business is easy, that's definitely a
lie.
That's definitely the
That's
hardest thing
definitely a
ever.
lie.
You will go through things that 99.8% of people will break and quit and leave. I mean, I've fired myself a bajillion times, and then I rehire myself. I've also quit a bajillion times, and after 5 minutes and you realize that nothing actually gets accomplished by you quitting, then you go back to work and you hit it again, so
You don't really have anyone else to rely on but yourself.
right,
Nothing gets done.
I don't know if I've ever really been like scared. I mean, I've had some moments, man. Like, I mean, I don't get scared really. I don't have any fear of going through my life, but I mean, just shit, man. Like, you just go through you just grow the emotional roller coaster of owning a business. Freaking sucks, and you will then learn that you can actually get through pretty much anything, and then 10 years down the line, pretty much nothing really bothers you anymore because you've literally already been through everything at that point. Like, I've been through no money. I've been through a lot of times with no money. That's really the biggest one.
That's like 95% of owning a business.
Pretty much the no money kind of thing. Like, am I getting paid? No, I'm not getting paid. Or I write myself paychecks and then I don't cash them for 3 weeks. And so just that part, that's the scary part, I guess. I don't know if, it's nice when you're 9 to 5. You don't have to think about anything. You just get your paycheck every Friday no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's good, to go into your work and that's it. Sometimes you come in here and you do your work and then you get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
But
you get experience.
You get a lot of experience, that's for sure. And I mean, it's anytime, because like you'll say like, oh, you got to work a lot harder. Because I think a lot of times people are like, oh, well, you work really, it's like if you own your own business, right, you're always working or whatever. But at the same time, you do always work, but then you also got to remember like, all right, well, I coach my kids' soccer team. Like, would I coach them if I had a regular job? Or like, if they're sick, they can come into work with me. They're not going to be going to work with me if I have something else. My wife doesn't have to work. She probably would have to work if I worked 9 to 5 or if the power goes out in school, we need to go pick them up. I can go pick them up.
Yeah.
Whatever. If something happens, it's
controlling your own time.
Yeah. You might have to sometimes work really late or sleep at the shop
every day,
24 hours. But also there's times that you don't.
Yeah, and at least the family can be here with you
all the time.
When you do have to pull those long nights and things like that. They can tuck you in while you fall asleep and
they definitely don't do that. I go home and I tuck them in and I come back. I try not to do that stuff anymore. That was a long time ago. I don't really care to do that anymore. Like I'm gonna be honest, people can pound sand if they expect me to work late. I've done a lot especially with car people and their shows and stuff like that. I don't care much about your show anymore.
Sure.
I don't care if it needs to be rushed. You can't just rush this stuff. Like, it's just not worth it to me.
Yeah.
I will go get a 9 to 5 over just doing some of that stuff. Like,
for sure.
We've already talked about it earlier. Money is fake. So like, my time is the only thing that's of value to me. Money is irrelevant. You can make more, lose more. I've had some, lose none, some. Like, it's irrelevant, right? So just your time is really everything that you can have, and that your kids grow up way too fast. Way too fast. My time is with my family, and that's where I want my time.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, man.
Which has anything to do with business, but
no, it's part of the entrepreneurship, and I mean, family and owning a business go hand in hand. Like, they're your support system. I guess a manager would be at work, or your HR or whoever you would talk to. you know, I talk to my wife and my kids. I'm trying to teach them about business and tell them, look, we do things like this, or we talk to our customers to make them feel comfortable, blah, 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 so that they're learning and gaining the skills just as I'm learning and gaining the skills, and that we can, hey, Dad, you remember when you told me about this? You're not really doing that right now. Yeah. Why aren't you? Or can you do it? You know, so it's kind of keeps you in check. It's your support system and everything like that. So
I'll tell you, I love that part about it is my kids are like, they pick up on everything. Kids watch
everything.
Kids watch everything you do.
Everything.
They don't ever be a hypocrite for any, you know, like. I always say, like, I don't understand why people like they'll listen to. I don't listen to rap music, it's crap. But let's just take that, right? Music that's bad, right? It's got a bunch of curse words and everything like that. It's got a bad message, and they'll listen to it, but then they don't want their kids to listen to it. If you don't want your kids to listen to it, why do you listen to it? If it's not good for them to listen to, why is it good for you to listen to? If it's not good for them to curse, why is it good for you to curse? That's, to me, they pick up on everything, and they'll pick up on all of what you do and every habits that you do. Like my kids, he's 9, and, you know, we got a 3D printer, and he's gonna start. He's all about starting his own business and printing. He's been using my iPad to do 3D design. Kid's better than me at it.
What's he using, Blender, or do you know?
We use Shaper 3D.
Okay.
And I swear he's better at it than I am. I learned stuff from him, and he'll build all these little Lego stuff on there. So
they're not scared. They're not scared to like just try.
No.
They're just like, well, what's this do? What's that do? What's this do?
That's what I love about kids. It's just they'll get it, and they're awesome. Both of them are like that. My daughter's a big saver. She's all about like learning about money and stuff like that, and how money works and like what it can do for you. Or whatever.
That's like good.
Like, she'll be very financially savvy when she comes to really needing to be. So
that's awesome. I'm hoping my kids. I got a 14-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old. 14-year-old, she's on her own. She's in her own world right now. She hit teenage age. So
that's what I hear about happens to them.
Yeah. So the younger ones, they spend a lot of time in the office with me and a lot of time helping with the shirts and the hats. And anytime we had 2 customers come by at different times the other day, and they're like, another customer, and they're just all happy about it and everything like that. So I enjoy that part as much as I do seeing the customer when they receive their product. You know, I did a blanket for a lady's sister that graduated college and put their name and the date she graduated and everything like that on it. And for her to grab that and see that it was done and she was so happy about it is what makes me keep doing what I do.
Yeah.
Is because I'm able to make lifetime heirloom type products. Or things that people can pass down from generation to generation. Not just t-shirts or a hat, but I do other stuff too. So that's a good part about it. The shirts are just something that keeps it coming.
Yeah.
You start with shirts, like, oh, you do shirts and
that.
Shirts and. So been here for 3 years. You just do trucks now, but you've done everything under the sun. What's the future of Florida Boy Customs?
So we're moving towards manufacturing and production is what we're moving towards. So by the end of this year, I've got a few things for Jeeps right now for the Jeep JLs. So basically everything. To me, this world, everything you can find on YouTube, right? You shouldn't be able. If you can't do something, you are just not trying.
That's right.
Because there's just a Google search.
That's right.
Which, just off topic on that, like, people need to use Google. It really drives me nuts when people ask me, well, how far are you from me? Well, I don't know, but you can Google my address because you literally are
on your phone
already. I don't have to Google it for you.
Oh, yeah.
To find out, but that's besides the point. But so everything goes to DIY. Everyone loves DIY and stuff like that. So we are moving towards producing F-Series trucks, interiors. That you can purchase, basically just from online purchasing, A-pillars, so the A-pillars for those trucks are a single piece. I've turned them into a 2-piece. And then you can just buy A-pillars. You could buy just door panels. And then the door panels you can buy a full door panel with full color chains. Like basically you can go from a mild interior upgrade that you can purchase on our website to just parts of the interior upgrade to what you can purchase on the website to leather kits that we're working on, all made in the USA. Basically, it's a Ford America's number one selling truck with a 100% made in America interior that you can buy. No tariffs, no nothing. Just America, and so that's what we're really working towards. And then Jeeps too, because I just had a Jeep JL come in for a good customer of mine, and we got all the templates now for that, and it's a really easy thing to break down, and Jeep people love to custom stuff, and they're all DIY stuff. There are a lot of DIYers for the Jeep community. So, we have their armrests are on their doors are super easy to do yourself. So we have a template. You'll be able to buy a template for the armrest kit. I basically have a full little interior kit of you can change out your console lid. You can change out your shift boots, emergency brake cover, and door armrests, your armrest covers for your armrests, and then if you want to get real challenging, we can even do a steering wheel cover, and you can take on trying to wrap your own steering wheel.
Okay.
So,
So this is so it's just templates, and then they cut it out and sew it.
I do it. I cut it, sew it, I send it to you. All you gotta do is staple it on.
Okay.
If you can get a stapler, you can staple this stuff on and do it. Or the steering wheel, right? It needs glue and thread. So the kit would be the whole cover, and then I'd send you a little ounce of glue that you need for it because you don't need that much.
Sure.
Paintbrush, and then the thread you'd want, and the needle to tie it all together. And that's all you need for a steering wheel. So
okay.
All the hard work and the upholstery work would be done for you. You just have to do the install part. The same with the trucks, right? So anybody can replace a door panel, and then there's going to be a core charge for everything. So if you were to buy a set, so for the Fords, if you want to change your door panels, you're going to buy the whole door panel from us, and then there will be a core charge on your door. So you'll buy the door from us, and then you can put your door into the box with a prepaid package, send it back, and then we'll give you a core charge on your door panel. So
instead of bringing your vehicle here, having it wait until you can get all the other vehicles done in front of it, they can just order the pre-made parts and have them installed themselves at their speed.
They can install it, or they can take it to whatever shop or their buddy that can install it for them. And if they don't know how to do it, there's a video on YouTube or a video on TikTok.
University
on how
YouTube.
To do it. So, and I'll have a QR code on a little direction that'll take you right to the video on how to do it, step-by-step breakdown. So
awesome.
Anybody could do it.
Yeah.
So that's where ultimately that's where I want to go, is in my career, is that I want to build this to be sufficient, but I want to teach more. Upholstery is it's dying. It's not a lot of people that do it. And I mean, if you want to talk about making America great, and you want to
bringing skills back to America.
Skills back to America. I mean, textiles is the most outsourced thing in our country.
Yeah.
We don't make anything anymore. So, I mean, if people could learn to just make some stuff, and it's not hard, it just takes a little work,
time,
and it just takes time. It's very time consuming, but I mean, as a country, we could make everything here if just people would be willing to learn.
Not to go off or anything like that, but when I was in Afghanistan and when we were on the base, we had jobs for everything.
Yeah.
I understand we're trying to help build the community hearts and minds and everything, but we did guard, and then the local nationals did all the stuff like the building, engineering, like laundry specialist, truck driving, stuff like that. So I don't know, man. I feel like those are skills that we need to have here, not only for this generation, but we need to start teaching the next generation, because once it stopped being taught, it starts being lost.
Oh, it's going to be lost. Like it will be lost. And this is a terror. Like upholstery in itself is so, it's not, you should not be lost. Like if trades in themselves are just so necessity, because you just think about COVID, right? Your essential workers or whatever, when you want to deem people as essential or essential, not essential. If you're a trade, you are essential, and nobody can. You can work for yourself. You can work for somebody else. Nobody cannot give you work, because everybody needs you.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a plumber. Everybody needs an electrician. Everybody needs to build a house. Everybody needs shoes. If you could make shoes, guess what? Everybody needs a pair of shoes. It doesn't matter. If you make sandals, I bet you if you can go make some sandals, you'll be really busy, because people will buy things that are made.
Yeah.
My problem is I can't find help. I got too much work and I can't find help. And so you end up turning away work or whatever like that. Like upholstery is wild too, right? Because there's so many avenues. There's people that only do canvas. All they do is canvas tops. You can make a living off of just doing canvas boat tops. There's a bajillion boats in the world. They all need a canvas boat top. You can make a living off of just doing canvas boat covers. There are people that just want a cover for their boat to sit on the dock so that their boat doesn't get ruined. You can make a living just doing restaurants. Restaurants are being made every single day. Guess what? All their booths and their chairs, they all need to be covered all the time. I've done that before. Awnings. There are people that just do awnings. I don't do awnings because that's another. I don't want to learn how to do awnings, but I could do awnings. You can make dog beds. You can work on cars. You can work on trucks. You can work on custom hot rods. You can make shirt. Like there's so many things that you can do. Just do boats. I know people that just do boats. That's all they like doing is just doing boats. I don't like doing boats. Boats smell. They stink. They're all dry rotted. I'm not a fan of boats. I like cars. I'd rather do that. But there's just so many avenues that you can do with upholstery, and there's so many ways that you can make money. You're always needed. Always. If you just have drive and hustle, like you can go get you some work. It's not hard to go.
No, it's not,
man. It's not hard to go take a day and go down, Archer Road in Gainesville. There's probably 10,000 restaurants down Archer Road. It take you one day, and I guarantee you can get probably 4 jobs.
I mean, you're going to get about 50 no's before you get one yes, but that's the hard part, is to keep going with all those no's.
Yeah, you keep going.
That's the hard part, man.
And you'd be surprised at actually how many no's you're probably not going to get, because like we were in Moe's one time, and I was like, man, these seats are garbage. And I was like, I just went, hey man, are you the manager? Yeah. Hey, your seats look terrible. I do upholstery. Oh man, I've actually been keep getting docked on my my forms or whatever because of what they do. Like, you got a card, and I didn't do it because I didn't follow up, because then I got busy and I didn't follow up because I don't have
follow-ups everything.
Follow-ups everything, and that is true. Follow-ups are everything, and just continuing on with it, because they'll forget really quick. Yeah. And
I mean, they're just like you.
Just
you
like
forget.
I forget.
They get busy. They get busy doing their thing.
It's the same thing. So, and when you only have one person, it's like, whatever. And restaurants is a whole nother game too, because they're always open. Yeah. So those are a lot harder. It's like a night job. You pick them up when they close, you do them at night, and then you bring them back in the morning, and so they can still open and everything like that. So
I appreciate your time.
Absolutely, man.
Look forward to maybe coming back and doing some more in the future. See where you're at in a little while. If you have any questions, man, reach out. Go ahead and give a shout out on all your Instagram all your handles and everything.
Yeah, Instagram is Florida_boy_customs, and then TikTok is the Florida Boy.
The Florida Boy.
Yeah, that's where I do all my DIYs and how-to videos.
Awesome.
So.
All right. Well, this has been Balance Podcast. And thank you guys for joining. Have a good one.
There, guys.
That's it. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. I
Yeah, man.
appreciate it.
Not a problem. Appreciate you.
No problem. I'll go home, do some editing. It'll probably be